A lot of people assume that blurry vision is just a normal part of getting older, something you are supposed to accept and move on from. You wake up with dry, scratchy eyes. You squint at the menu across the restaurant and everything goes fuzzy. Headlights at night leave you blinded and uncomfortable, gripping the steering wheel a little tighter than you used to. But here is the truth. The truth most doctors do not take the time to sit down and explain to you. It is not always just old age. The American Optometric Association is clear about this. Once you are past 60, your eyes become significantly more fragile. Conditions like dry eyes, cataracts, macular degeneration, and sudden blurry vision in just one eye become far more common. And the National Eye Institute has warned that vision loss among Americans is rising faster than at any point in recorded history. What makes this especially dangerous is that the real damage often happens while you sleep. At night, when you think your body is resting and repairing itself, your retina, which is the light-sensitive tissue lining the back of your eye, does not always get the oxygen and nutrients it needs. The delicate photoreceptor cells that help you see clearly begin to break down slowly, silently, and most people do not notice it until the damage is already done. So here's the question I hear almost every single week in my practice. Why is my vision getting blurry? And is there anything natural I can do about it without expensive procedures or more prescriptions? The answer is yes, and it starts with 2 specific fruits eaten at a specific time of day for reasons that the research now explains very clearly. My name is Dr. Favor Adeyemi. I have spent over 10 years working with patients on their long-term health, and the connection between nutrition and eye health is one of the most underappreciated areas I have ever studied. What I am going to show you today is backed by peer-reviewed research published in leading medical journals. This is not a trend. This is biology. Stay with me until the very end, because the second fruit on this list is one almost nobody talks about, and the research behind it is extraordinary. Before I name the 2 fruits, I need to give you the foundation. Because once you understand what is happening inside your eye after 60, you will understand exactly why these fruits work. Your eye is one of the most metabolically active organs in your body. The photoreceptor cells in your retina, the rods and cones that convert light into vision, require a constant and generous supply of oxygen, antioxidants, and specific nutrients to function. These cells work continuously even while you sleep, clearing away metabolic waste and regenerating the visual pigments that allow you to see clearly when you wake up. After 60, 3 things change in the eye that make it significantly more vulnerable. First, the macula, which is the small central region of the retina responsible for sharp, detailed vision, accumulates damage from oxidative stress over decades. Free radicals from sunlight exposure, screen time, and normal cellular metabolism attack the photoreceptor cells faster than the aging eye can repair them. This is the primary mechanism behind age-related macular degeneration, which is the leading cause of vision loss in adults over 65 in the United States. Second, the lens of the eye becomes less transparent as proteins inside it gradually oxidize and clump together. This clouding process is how cataracts form. Research from the age-related eye disease study, known as AREDS, confirmed that oxidative damage to lens proteins is the central mechanism in cataract development. Third, the blood vessels that supply the retina with oxygen and nutrients narrow with age, particularly in people with high blood pressure, diabetes, or poor circulation. Reduced blood flow to the retina means reduced nutrient delivery to the photoreceptors, which accelerates their decline. Here is where the 2 fruits come in. Both contain specific classes of compounds that address all 3 of these mechanisms simultaneously. They flood the eye with antioxidants that neutralize the free radicals, destroying photoreceptor cells. They support the blood vessel integrity that keeps the retina properly nourished, and they deliver the specific pigments that physically protect the macula from light-induced oxidative damage. And eating them before bed is not random timing. It is specific and deliberate, and I will explain exactly why. Let me tell you about a patient I will call Abigail. Abigail was 67 years old, a retired accountant with excellent attention to detail. She came to me concerned about what she described as progressive fuzziness in her central vision, especially noticeable when reading. Her optometrist had identified early-stage macular degeneration and told her to monitor it. She wanted to know if there was anything she could do beyond monitoring. When I reviewed her diet, there was no surprise. Like most adults her age, she was eating very few of the specific nutrients her retina needed. She had no idea that 2 fruits available in any grocery store contained the compounds that researchers now consider the most protective against the exact type of damage she was experiencing. We will come back to Abigail because what her optometrist found at her follow-up 12 months later is one of the most encouraging things I have seen in my practice. Fruit number 1, blueberries. Blueberries are the most thoroughly researched fruit for eye health in the world, and the science behind them goes far deeper than most people realize. Blueberries contain the highest concentration of anthocyanins of any commonly consumed fruit. Anthocyanins are the pigments that give blueberries their deep blue-purple color, and they are among the most powerful antioxidants found in nature. Inside the eye, anthocyanins do something remarkable. They bind specifically to a protein called rhodopsin, which is the visual pigment in the rod cells of your retina. Rod cells are responsible for low light and night vision. After 60, rhodopsin regeneration slows significantly, which is why many seniors struggle with night driving and adjusting from bright to dim light. Anthocyanins accelerate rhodopsin regeneration. A study published in the Journal of Nutritional Science and Vitaminology demonstrated that anthocyanin supplementation significantly improved dark adaptation speed in older adults, meaning their eyes adjusted faster when moving from bright to dark environments. Beyond rhodopsin support, blueberry anthocyanins protect the retinal pigment epithelium, which is the layer of cells directly beneath the photoreceptors that provides them with nutrients and removes their waste products. When the retinal pigment epithelium is damaged, photoreceptor cells starve and die. This is the direct pathway to macular degeneration. Research published in Investigative Ophthalmology and Visual Science found that anthocyanins significantly reduced oxidative damage to retinal pigment epithelium cells exposed to intense light stress. Blueberries also contain pterostilbene, a compound closely related to resveratrol, which has been shown to reduce inflammation in the retinal blood vessels and support healthy circulation to the macula. Here is why eating blueberries before bed specifically matters. During the deepest phases of sleep, your retina performs its most intensive repair and regeneration work. Rhodopsin is resynthesized. Metabolic waste is cleared from the photoreceptors. The retinal pigment epithelium restores its nutrient supply to the photoreceptors for the following day. Having anthocyanins available in your bloodstream during this window means the repair process has the raw materials it needs at exactly the right time. The therapeutic dose from research is 1 cup, which is roughly 150 g of fresh or frozen blueberries eaten 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Frozen blueberries retain their anthocyanin content fully and are often more affordable. Avoid blueberry products with added sugar, which creates oxidative stress that counteracts the protective compounds. If you have made it this far, you are clearly invested. You want to see what happens next, but most viewers enjoy the content and scroll away without subscribing. If this one really means something to you, tap subscribe. It takes a second. If not, you will probably forget this channel exists and miss a lot of great educational content ahead. Now, I want to pause here for a moment because what I have just described connects to something bigger that I want to share with you. The eye is not an isolated organ. It shares its blood supply with your heart, your brain, and your kidneys. The same blood pressure issues that strain your cardiovascular system also reduce oxygen delivery to your retina. In fact, ophthalmologists can sometimes detect early signs of cardiovascular disease by examining the blood vessels inside the eye. These systems are deeply connected. Over the years in my clinic, I have seen something very simple make a real difference for people over 60. It is not about doing anything extreme. It is about doing the right small things every day. That is why I created a guide called 30-Day Blood Pressure Reset for seniors. It is a simple, step-by-step plan designed to help support healthy blood pressure through gentle daily routines, light exercises, and clear guidance you can follow at home. Some of my patients have used this same structure and told me they felt more in control of their daily habits and more confident about their readings. I am not opening this to everyone. I am only allowing 30 people to go through it right now because I want to follow up closely and see how each person is doing. If you feel like your current routine is not giving you the clarity you need, you can click the link in the description or scan the QR code on your screen to get your copy before the 30 spots are filled. And because you are part of this community, I have made it easier with a 70% discount so it stays affordable for you. After completing your purchase, please drop your email so I can follow up with you personally. I will check in with you through email and help you stay consistent with the plan. Now, let us get to the second fruit. Fruit number 2, kiwi. This is the fruit almost nobody expects, and the research behind it for eye health is genuinely remarkable. Kiwi fruit contains the highest concentration of lutein and zeaxanthin per calorie of any fruit available. Lutein and zeaxanthin are yellow carotenoid pigments that your body deposits specifically and selectively in the macula of the retina. They do not go anywhere else in the body in meaningful quantities. They go directly to the tissue that needs them most. Once deposited in the macula, lutein and zeaxanthin form what researchers call the macular pigment. This pigment performs two critical functions. First, it acts as a natural filter, absorbing the high-energy blue light wavelengths from screens and sunlight that cause the most oxidative damage to photoreceptor cells. Think of it as a built-in pair of sunglasses that lives inside your eye. Second, it quenches singlet oxygen, which is one of the most reactive free radical species produced by light exposure in the retina. The age-related eye disease study 2, known as AREDS 2, was a major landmark clinical trial involving over 4,000 participants. It found that supplementation with lutein and zeaxanthin significantly reduced the risk of progression to advanced age-related macular degeneration by 26%. That is a clinically substantial finding, and kiwi fruit provides these compounds in a bioavailable whole food form alongside vitamin C, which enhances their absorption and adds its own separate layer of lens protection. Vitamin C deserves specific mention here. The lens of your eye maintains the highest concentration of vitamin C of any tissue in the body. Vitamin C is essential for protecting lens proteins from the oxidative damage that causes them to cloud into cataracts. A study published in Ophthalmology examining 1,000 pairs of twins found that higher dietary vitamin C intake was associated with a 33% lower risk of cataract development. 2 kiwis provide approximately 140% of the recommended daily intake of vitamin C. Kiwi also contains a significant amount of vitamin E, which works synergistically with vitamin C to protect both the lens and the retinal cell membranes from oxidative degradation. The before-bed timing for kiwi has additional support. A study published in the Asia-Pacific Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that eating 2 kiwis before bed for 4 weeks significantly improved sleep quality and sleep duration in adults over 60. Better sleep quality directly improves the overnight repair processes in the retina. The researchers identified serotonin precursors in kiwi as the primary mechanism. Improved sleep means more time in the deep stages where retinal regeneration is most active. The protocol is 2 medium kiwis eaten 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Fresh kiwi retains higher vitamin C content than any processed form. Eat the flesh and the seeds. The seeds contain additional antioxidant compounds. I promised I would come back to Abigail. 12 months after our consultation, she went back to her optometrist for a follow-up assessment of her early macular degeneration. She had added 1 cup of blueberries and 2 kiwis to her evening routine every night consistently for the entire 12 months. Nothing else in her diet had changed significantly. Her optometrist called me to discuss the results. The early drusen deposits, which are the small yellow protein deposits in the macula that indicate oxidative stress and early macular degeneration, had not progressed. In some areas of her macula, the assessment suggested stabilization, where progression had previously been expected. Her visual acuity at near distance had improved by 1 line on the reading chart. Her optometrist asked what she had changed. When I told him, he was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "I wish more of my patients knew about this." That is the gap this video is trying to close. Abigail told me something at that follow-up that I think about often. She said, "I was so afraid that I was just going to watch my vision disappear. I did not know something so simple could make a difference." It can, and the research confirms it. Let me bring this all together clearly. After 60, your retina faces 3 accelerating threats: oxidative damage to photoreceptor cells from free radicals, progressive clouding of the lens through protein oxidation, and reduced blood flow to the retinal tissue from aging blood vessels. Blueberries address the first threat directly through anthocyanins that accelerate rhodopsin regeneration, protect the retinal pigment epithelium, and support retinal blood vessel integrity. 1 cup before bed puts these compounds in your bloodstream during the window when your retina does its most active overnight repair. Kiwi addresses all 3 threats simultaneously. Lutein and zeaxanthin build and maintain the macular pigment that filters damaging blue light and quenches singlet oxygen. Vitamin C at concentrations that support lens protein protection. Vitamin E that protects retinal cell membranes. And serotonin precursors that improve sleep quality and extend the overnight retinal repair window. Your action step for tonight is simple. 1 cup of fresh or frozen blueberries and 2 kiwis eaten together 30 to 60 minutes before bed. No added sugar, no cooking, just the fruit. Start tonight, not next week. Tonight. Which of these 2 fruits are you going to add to your evening routine first? Tell me in the comments right now. I read everyone. And if someone you know is concerned about their vision after 60, share this video with them. The research is here. The fruits are in every grocery store. The only thing missing was the connection. You now have it. Before you go, I want you to think about something. Most people keep waiting for the perfect moment to take their health seriously, but that moment usually never comes. That is exactly why I put together my guide, 30-Day Blood Pressure Reset for Seniors. It is made to help you follow a simple daily routine that supports healthy blood pressure without confusion or stress. It includes gentle exercises, daily habits, and a clear plan you can stick to day by day. I have seen people in my care feel more confident just by following something structured like this. Right now, I am keeping it very limited to just 30 people because I want to treat it like a small group I can observe closely. Once those spots are filled, I will close it. If you feel ready to start something simple and structured, you can click the link in the description or scan the QR code to get your copy now. And since you are part of this audience, like family to me, I have added a 70% discount so you can get started without worrying about the cost. After completing your purchase, please drop your email so I can follow up with you personally. I will check in with you through email and help you stay consistent with the plan. Disclaimer: everything shared in this video is general educational information based on published nutritional science and ophthalmology research, including data from the AREDS and AREDS 2 clinical trials. It is not a substitute for personal medical or optometric advice. Macular degeneration, cataracts, and other eye conditions require proper diagnosis and monitoring by a qualified eye care professional. Please continue attending your scheduled eye examinations and discuss any dietary changes with your doctor, especially if you are managing other health conditions or taking medications.